On Thursday mornings, I usually start by taking the sourdough starter out of the fridge and giving it a fresh feed. This is the first step in my weekend baking routine. I've recently stuck with a 48-hour dough process, feeding my starter on Thursdays morning. Once it's ready and active, I prepare the dough, stretch and fold it, and then let it sit in the refrigerator until I bake it on Saturday morning. This longer fermentation time allows more good bacteria to develop, which makes for healthier, more flavorful loaf. This morning I noticed that the lid of my starter jar had gotten pretty sticky and was hard to open, so I decided it was time to switch it to a new jar. I do this every once in a while just to keep things fresh. I took about 40 or 50 grams of my starter, fed it with 50 grams of flour and 50 grams of water, mixed it up, and now I'm letting it sit to bubble and get active. In the summer this process goes a bit quicker. If you are interested in my full sourdough process, I have a detailed video on how I make sourdough from start to finish here on YouTube. I will leave a link in the description below. I also soaked some pecans this morning, so they will be ready to pop into the dehydrator later. I was hoping to finish the edging on my soft rose blanket this morning, but unfortunately I didn't quite get there, so that will have to wait for later. Now I need to get moving. I want to fit in a quick workout, take a shower, and head out to the organic shop that I usually visit every Thursday morning.
Shabbat shalom.
Welcome to episode 11, Vlogust episode 11. It's Thursday, August 15. I am back from the shop. Everything is organized back in place. Laundry is hanged outside. It is so hot. The minute I came home, I had to turn on the air condition. But I'm very happy I made it also today, half by car and half by foot, just trying to keep active as much as I can. But I'm home alone. The boys left and Tomer left with friends to the beach. I just spoke in the morning with the other mothers and we decided we will let them go to the beach together. And Uri left very early this morning. He will spend the weekend in a guide seminar of the Scouts, so he will not be with us during the weekend. And the house is pretty quiet, and I thought, why not to come chat with you and share my progress, the progress I made on my Coziest Memory Blanket, which I really wait to do with you, to share with you. The only thing is that I have to keep my phone right next to me because we made an order that should be delivered during the day. We made an order. It's for the first time that we tried to order chicken meat from an organic farm. I think it's like about an hour drive towards the south. And Eyal and myself decided to try them on. I heard about them for quite a while. So this delivery is on its way, and the driver already called me to ask if we live in a building, if we live in a private home, if we have a park for him, a parking where he can park his truck. So I keep my phone next to me just in case he will look for me. But now I want to share the progress I made on my Coziest Memory Blanket. I thought that it will be very hard to share it here on the camera with you on my tiny craft room. So I also took some footage for you yesterday morning and this morning to share in case I feel it's not looking good enough here in the room. So I will add some other footage of the entire blanket, how it looks now, and also on a few details from the row that I just finished. So I finished row number 13 on my Coziest Memory Blanket, still enjoying this project so much. And we all do here because there are quite a few makers here on my weekly groups, the Mondays Girls and the Knit Night. We have quite a few makers. We are busy making it. We still all really enjoy it. Although it's summer and it's not reasonable to work on a woolly blanket during the Israeli summer days, but this project brings me so much joy. And I finished row number 13 and I wanted to share everything about it. This is the Coziest Memory Blanket, by the way, is a free pattern by Kemperay. You can find it on Ravelry. It's a very simple project to knit on. If you know how to knit, it's a garter stitch project, and you knit a square and then add a square while you join it to the other square as you go. And I usually keep it in my fringe bag, in this bag. So this is a huge bag. I really love it. This is a perfect home for this project because I can keep all my yarns here, all my accessories, needles. I keep a small weight that I like to keep here in case I want to check if I have enough yarn for the square I'm starting to knit. I keep my needles. I'm using the signature, I think they call signature needle art. I'm not sure they are available anymore. I think they they closed the business, but I am very happy I have made it to purchase these because I really enjoy working with them. And I ordered the stiletto tip and this, I'm not sure, I think maybe it's the tear tip to the other tip. I really enjoy working with them. I work on a 2.5 millimeter needles. And lately I was adding to my big project bag. I was adding this small project bag. Here I keep all my yarns and I use 4-ply fingering superwash wool. out of leftovers from socks or Aweta yarn, Aweta by Filcolana, and also the yarn that I received from my monthly subscription from the Raw One yarn. So this is a monthly subscription where you get 2 minis of 10 minis of 10 grams each of hand-dyed wool each month from another dyer. So it's a very like rich in colors. And I share it every time that I get a package. So I guess if you are not new here, if this is not the first thing that you watch here on my channel, you already saw me sharing my packages, beautiful packages from Row One. And lately I had this kind of small project bag that I purchased a few years ago. On our visit to Japan, I visited the walnut shop on Tokyo, and I purchased this lovely project bag. So lately I put here all the yarns that I think that I plan to add, you know, on the next squares. So I place them here, and I can grab them right from here. I don't need to look for them in the big bag. So what I did on the last time before I started row 13, or on the middle of row 13, I spread a blanket on the carpet in the living room, and then I planned the wool. I placed all the yarns that I think will work next. And then I took a picture. It's exactly what I do with my weekly makers. We spread the blankets, try to think together of the colors, the next colors that will go in, and then we take a picture and we work out of the picture. So all the colors that I added on row 13, or most of them, live here. And it's not, you know, something that we must follow, but this is a general guide, color guide. And like for here, for example, on row 13, I changed the order that I was taking a picture. The original order that in the picture, I changed it in, you know, here and there. I will share it with you in a minute. So it's made out of fingering 4-ply sock wool. We made a lot of swaps here between us, and I really love. I love not just to work on it and knit on it. I love that I do it with other makers here in my community, and that we share this project together. It means so much to me. I don't know. It's like a tapestry of many happy moments of all of us together, and even that I work on it by myself alone, I still feel it's the sense of community when I work on this project. And in many cases when we go abroad, we will look for a yarn that will be good for all of us to share, and then we come back and split it and share it together. So this work is such a joy. And a few days ago, I don't really remember if it was the weekend or not, I completed row 13. So my blanket is made out of 26 squares, and I want it to be 26 by 20. This is what I think it's gonna be. Let's see. But I just finished row 13. So let me show you how it looks. This is row 13, and this is the delivery. So yeah, they arrived, and I had to put everything in the freezer. Yeah, but now I can continue. I think I started to show you how it looks now. And this is row number 13 added, but this is the way it looks now. So it's 26 squares, and as for now it's 26 by 13, and this is row number 13 made. And as you can see, I also incorporate a few squares where I do like a black and white stripes. I love to incorporate stripes that I, play with two colors, or to incorporate squares that are made out of 2 or 3 different yarns. So in this case, it's the yarn itself. It's a sock wool leftover, but in this case, it's 2 or 3 different yarns. So you can see I like to incorporate these stripy squares from time to time, but I like to have kind of like a black and white squares here and there. These are not true black and true white. It's like a grayish color with a dark brown color. And I love them in the color story. And you can see in many cases I choose to knit a square out of 2 colors, or to incorporate just one tiny little stripe or line inside the square. And this is also stripes made out of 2 different yarns. So row number 13 is made out of mainly row 1 yarns, but as you can see, I also incorporate other colors. So this square is made out of 2 different colors, but most of it is from the row 1 subscription, not these 2. Let's see the others. And yeah, this is row 1, but it's also I also added a stripe, a neon stripe, out of another yarn that I have, a sock wool that I have in my stash. And here I also made it out of 2 colors. So this is a row 1 color. I think this is a row 1 from another month, from previous months. And this is for sure made out of row 1, out of this the last month. And if I'm not mistaken, this is an old one that I had. I think so. Yeah, and it's not that I use each and every color that I get in the row 1 package, because not all of the colors are going to make it into the blanket, not making it into the blanket. It's a very, very joyful work in terms of colors. So if colors are speaking to you and if you feel good with colors, it's a perfect work for you. Even if you don't feel good with colors and you just throw away the next color and the next color, you will get a very rich result. But for me, color is my language, is my first language. So I really, really enjoy. So even though, breaking a square and working it with 2 colors or more than 2 colors will create more yarn ends to weave in, and it's a project that creates a lot of yarn ends that you have to weave in, but I don't care. I don't care, because this is for me pure joy, like to create the color story and to, I just do what I feel in the moment. And if I feel this color needs another, neighbor next to him, I will not make any extra thought. So I will immediately go for it because I feel it needs it there. So you can see in many cases I split the square and work it from 2 colors, and maybe even from more. You can see it in many, many places in my blanket. And I don't have any system for weaving in yarn ends because I just work it. I can stop after 5 or 6 squares and weave in the yarn ends. Or in the case of row number 13, I did halfway, made weaving all the yarn ends, and then halfway and sit and weave in all the yarn ends. And I can do it during the weekend or maybe with my morning coffee, but I am completely in love with this work. I don't have any like deadline where I want to finish it. I feel like I don't want it to end, like a good book that you don't want to reach the last pages. So this is the case here. So this is my Coziest Memory Blanket, and this is the progress I made. I really couldn't wait to share it, come here and share it with you, and I'm very happy I finally did it. And now I think my sourdough starter is getting bubbly and active. Now that it's hot, it's getting bubbly and active pretty quickly. So I will go out, make sourdough, make some green juice. So I think I'm going to wrap up today's vlog here and try to slow down a bit before the rest of the day. In the afternoons, I like to wind down and create a calm environment at our home. This usually means slowing down, enjoying some quiet time, and hopefully finishing up the framing on my soft rose blanket so I can try to take care of the stain and soak it before blocking. I hope you enjoyed following along with me today. I am very thankful for you being here. If you enjoyed this vlog, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and leave a comment. Let me know if there is something you would like to see more from me. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.